Hey everyone and welcome back on the channel. I'm Alex with Meta Endurance, and in today's video we have a first impression review of the Adidas Adizero Adios 9. We'll just call it the Adios 9 for the purposes of this video. This shoe is out now in a few markets. We got it in one specific market outside of Europe where the shoe is available. This is the Ekiden colorway, so it's already out in Asia. It's honest, transparent as always. We'll go into the good, the bad, the comparison with the Adios 8, little sister, older sister, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about the shoe. Let's go into it. All right, first of all, let's look into the specs. We have a crazy weight drop. This shoe is now in my size US 11, 191 grams. You heard it right, this is sub 200 grams for a shoe in my size US 11. UK 10.5, EU 45, 1/3. 1/3 is only with Adidas. Usually I'm on the EU 45. But yeah, this is very lightweight. It's a minimal package, as you can see, and it's dropping also compared to the Adios 8. The Adios 8, the predecessor of this shoe, was 237 grams in my size US 11, 191. You do the math, 46 grams difference. Wow, this is really already quite impressive. We'll come back to the comparison with this shoe here in a second, but first let's finish with the rest of the specs on the shoe. 27 millimeters in the heel, it's written right here. 27 millimeters sounds like not that much for modern shoes. The race day shoe from Adidas, the Adios Pro 4, is 39.5 or 40 millimeters in the heel, so this is 13 millimeters less here. But the Adios 9 is that faster intervals, maybe race day shoe for a 5K, 10K type of shoe. It's kind of also, you need to take into account the Takumi Sen 10 that has the rods and is probably a bit more solid for a 5K, 10K, but the Adios 9 can be that 5K, 10K shoe, and it's definitely a great workout shoe on the track or on the road. Looking at the drop, I don't know the figure, but it feels like a 6 millimeters drop in this shoe, maybe even 8. It does have some drop, you can feel it, and this is also a key difference with the feelings against the Adios 8, the predecessor of the shoe, but I will come back to this in a second. Looking at the upper, we have this very similar, if not the same material as on the Adios Pro 4, which means excellent news because that upper is literally sublime, excellent on the Adios Pro 4, and you get the same right here. You get the comfort, you get that very pleasant feeling against the foot, and you get the great heel, redesigned heel color, heel cup, very soft and also great lockdown. Both matters. There is no chafing, no blistering here in this heel, and the softness of the material is also very pleasant, especially when comparing it against the Adios 8. I put this shoe to the test against the Adios 9. Same session, I just switched shoes at some point, and the heel, the comfort of the Adios 8 is far inferior compared to the one of the Adios 9, which is again great news. Adidas managed to get something much better, much more refined in terms of upper comfort. The tongue is minimal, there's not too much padding, but it's exactly where you need it. The laces are on the thinner side of things, they're the right length, and overall this upper gets a very, very solid rating from me. Great experience. I look forward to a longer session in this shoe, but again, first impressions, great upper. Looking at the midsole, we also have a big departure from the Adios 8 midsole. The Adios 8 had that regular Lightstrike 2.0 EVA based in the heel, and then some Lightstrike Pro, older generation Lightstrike Pro in the forefoot, visible torsion plates. What do we have here on the new Adios 9? We have a full-length Lightstrike Pro midsole, which is good news in a way because it means softer landings in the heel, although most people will probably midfoot and forefoot strike with this shoe simply because it's meant to go a bit faster, and it will kind of take you also to that midfoot to forefoot area in terms of striking. But nevertheless, if you are recovering in between intervals, or simply if you are heel striking with the shoe, which is perfectly fine, you will get softer landings right here thanks to that full-length foam. But also, even if you're not heel striking, having that full-length midsole made of Lightstrike Pro, the brand new Lightstrike Pro, the same as on the Adios Pro 4, at least based on the feelings I had with it, I think it's the same. It just provides you with a better experience overall. It feels less clunky, it feels less like two different components working together, which again, on the Adios 8 worked good. And if you check my review of this shoe, it was a good review. But when you take these two shoes head to head, there's a clear winner in terms of the experience and what you're getting out of the ride of the Adios 9, which again is really the clear winner compared to the Adios 8. Again, not a bad shoe by any means, but this is a very serious upgrade. One thing I don't know, and this is probably going to come a bit later in a final verdict video is whether or not this shoe, the Adios 9, has also a torsion plate system like this, a stiffening element inside of it. If we do this kind of silly test just to see how flexible the two shoes are, as you can see, the Adios 9 is very, very flexible and has that very nice pop. The Adios 8 is a bit less flexible, and which kind of makes me think the Adios 9 doesn't have any stiffening element, or if it does, it's even more flexible than this torsion plate. As you can see, it's a bit harder to bend, but it also has that very nice rebound or pop out of this flexion. The test is, you know, silly, I get it, but it's just to get you a direct comparison. I cannot prove that I'm putting the same force into the two shoes, you just have to believe me. I think it's pretty much the same force, and I'm bending this one much easier. Let's go into the ride. Well, it is as direct, as energetic as you can imagine. Lots of ground feel, you know, that's kind of a given when you have only about 20 millimeters of stack height in the forefoot. I really enjoyed it. I did enjoy a lot the Adios 8. It was one of the best interval shoe for 2023. With the Hoka Cielo Road, maybe. These two are really competing up there, and I had lots of good sessions in this shoe, but the ride is just better, more modern, kind of you're one with the shoe, whereas the Adios 8 had a few issues. The lockdown was not perfect, the heel was not ideal, the upper material was not ideal, and it was a good shoe, but you were not really making one with it at faster paces, which is now the case with the Adios 9. I really felt very connected to this shoe thanks to the great lockdown and upper experience. Very connected also to that midsole. It sits right under your foot. It gives you confidence. It gives you a lot of pop and energy return in the forefoot at faster paces like I did today on the track, 6x400. And the last part here is the outsole, which also gave me a ton of confidence on the track. It was a wet track, which sometimes gets very slippery in some shoes. And the Continental tiny piece here under the big toe was providing with a very nice toe-off experience, just like in the Adios Pro 4, and the light traction outsole covering the rest of the shoe did also an excellent job. No slip-ring issues at all, so, you know, great outsole, I guess. Price point, it goes a bit up, if I'm not mistaken, $140, €140. The Adios 8, again, if I'm not mistaken, was €130, $130. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section of this video, please. But overall, if you're looking for that interval shoe, I think this is a 2025 banger that I have right here in my hands. The release schedule is a bit staggered. You have some countries in Asia already have this shoe out available on the market. It's coming a bit later here in Europe and in the US. It's already available for pre-order on some websites in the US if you check carefully. Do I recommend you to try it out? Well, if you are missing that faster shoe in your rotation, not necessarily a race day shoe, keep this in mind, it's more of a workout interval shoe, then yes, absolutely. What am I looking forward with this shoe? Heel reps. Don't ask me why. I mean, you can ask me why. It's simply because it has that flexion and that bounce in the forefoot. I really want to do heel reps in this shoe. I will, and you will get a final verdict video out of it. Give me a few days, a few weeks, and you will see my final thoughts on this shoe. But overall, first impressions, very positive, like you probably have understood by now. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and let's link to the review of the Adios Pro 4. See you in the next one.